This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 14th day of December in the year 2022. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. 2 days after Georgetown Mayor Ubrant Narain joined street vendors outside the Georgetown Hospital in a protest against their removal by the government and questioned whether the president was developing a Muslim state in Guyana, he was arrested at his office this afternoon. Opposition Member of Parliament Sherrod Duncan, who was covering the protest live on Facebook and aired the mayor's interview, was also arrested this afternoon when he turned up at the mayor's office to cover the mayor's arrest. While the mayor apologized for his remarks on Tuesday morning, he has faced a string of criticism from the government, some supportive groups of the government, and other groups over his remarks, culminating with today's arrest. 4 senior police officers turned up at the mayor's office just after 3 o'clock this afternoon and informed him that he was being placed under arrest for inciting racial hostilities over the statements that he made.
Obstruction of traffic. That allegedly obstruct traffic on 12 December in Market Street. You also use a computer system to attempt to incite ethnic division on the grounds of race and attempting to incite hostility or ill will on the grounds of race.
And he responded to you?
Is he waiting on his attorney?
Can I speak to him privately? Can I speak to him privately?
Mr. Ford, sir, if I may, you will have the opportunity to speak to your client privately, but under no circumstances was he restrained under law. We said that you're under arrest, but we haven't moved to the place that we are to take him, which is the Brickdown police station.
Several vendors converged at the city council this afternoon and initially blocked the arrest. However, the mayor and member of parliament Sherrod Duncan soon made their way into the compound of the city council, where they were surrounded by more supportive vendors and APNU AFC officials. With a number of attorneys at their side, Mayor Narain and MP Duncan walked across to the Brickdown police station where the charges were read to them again, and they were eventually placed on $100,000 bail each. They were advised to appear at the Georgetown Magistrates Court on Friday morning for the formal charges to be laid against them. Opposition leader Aubrey Norton, who was down at the Brickdown police station this afternoon, said the opposition will be mobilizing the vendors and the party supporters to show their support for the mayor and the member of parliament. APNU and AFC officials have lashed out at the government over the arrests, which the coalition believes has further eroded democracy and free speech in Guyana. The Guyana Police Force has not issued any statement about the arrests up to news time. More news coming up in just a moment.
Something big is here. GTT presents the moment you've all been waiting for.
'Tis the season to drive with GTT. Get your chance to be one of 4 lucky winners of a Toyota Raise, plus weekly giveaways and more. Simply activate a prepaid plan, sign up for fiber and voice plan, pay any 2 bills with MMG, or join the GTT family, and vroom! It could be you. 4 Toyota Raises, 4 winners. Drive with GTT.
Giftland Office Max, we're all about customer satisfaction. Whether it's clothing and shoes for the ladies, gents, and kids, or for the latest electronics or hardware appliance, we're always thinking of satisfying you, our dear customers. Now you can shop online at www.giftlandofficemax.com or visit us at the Giftland Mall, where we're happy to serve each and every one of you.
Sorrel making, hey, garlic postering, hey, ham and black cake eating. Now this is Christmas. 'Tis the season to get what you've always wanted with a little help from Republic Bank. Same day approvals apply online. It's time to make it happen for yourself and your family. Get cash back for the best Christmas ever. Sorrel making, hey, garlic postering, hey, ham and black cake eating. Now this is Christmas.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Mobil 1 is more than oil. It's many oils. It transforms at the molecular level. When cold, it's thicker than honey. When hot, it's thinner than water. Mobil 1 adapts and readapts to last longer. 16,000 kilometers between oil changes. That's your engine evolved.
Sol Guyana is the authorized distributor of Mobil lubricants.
Get in the game with Buster. Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, and many more top gaming prizes. Check below for details.
Welcome back. Well, although she is still to offer advice on the investigation by the Police Office of Professional Responsibility into the arrest of an attorney for advising her client to remain silent, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Senior Counsel Shalimar Ali-Haq, has discontinued the private criminal charges that were filed by the attorney against the 3 SOCO officers who detained her. In a 2-page letter to Magistrate Annette Singh, the DPP said that in the exercise of her powers under the Constitution, she was discontinuing the private criminal charges against Police Superintendent Krishandat Ramana, Sergeant Navranda Prasad, and Sergeant Winston Singh. Attorney-at-law Tamika Clark, who once worked at the DPP's office as a state prosecutor, filed the private criminal charges against the 3 police officers, claiming wrongful arrest and false imprisonment. The DPP, in her letter to the magistrate discontinuing the private criminal charges, said the issues which are included in the allegations by the attorney are civil matters, which ought to be addressed by the civil case. The DPP also claims that the charges filed by the attorney are in relation to acts done in the course of their duties, and the police officers are therefore protected by the Justice Protection Act. She said charging them for false imprisonment under the Kidnapping Act is against the intent and purpose of that act, claiming that the charges filed by the attorney add up to an abuse of process. The DPP said based on her assessment, she has made the decision to discontinue the private criminal charges against the 3 police officers attached to SOCO. Attorney-at-law Nigel Hughes, who's representing the attorney who was arrested, said the DPP cannot use the Justice Protection Act to protect officers who may have conducted an illegality. Attorney Tamika Clark was arrested back in October by the SOCO agents while she accompanied a client to an interview in relation to a criminal investigation. During the course of that interview, the attorney advised her client to remain silent, in keeping with his constitutional right. With that advice, the SOCO officers arrested her and detained her for more than an hour, locking her away in one of their offices. She was only released from custody when her attorneys arrived at SOCO headquarters, and the Attorney General Anil Nandlal also got involved and advised the investigators to release the attorney. The Guyana Bar Association has strongly condemned the arrest and led a protest outside the SOCO headquarters, pressing for charges to be laid in the matter. The attorney has also filed a civil case over her arrest. The president of the Guyana Teachers Union, Mark Light, is convinced that all is not well in Guyana's education sector, and he has lashed out at the government over its failure to respond to the multi-year agreement which was proposed by the union. Mr. Light has also berated the government over the non-appointment of the Teaching Service Commission, which has stalled the promotion of senior teachers. Addressing the press at the GTU's General Council meeting on Tuesday, the GTU president said between 2020 and 2022, the multi-year agreement which addresses issues relating to salaries and benefits for teachers was submitted to the president, Irfan Ali, the vice president, Bara Jagdeo, the finance minister, Dr. Ashni Singh, the minister of education, Priya Manik Chand, the permanent secretary of the education ministry, Alfred King, and also to the minister of labor, Joe Hamilton. There was no response from any of them.
I wish to say that in all these instances, we have received no response from the various ministries, an indication of the manner in which our teachers and the teachers of this country have been treated.
The GTU president said the 8% salary increase which was imposed by the Irfan Ali government on public sector workers will only see teachers taking home an additional $3,000 on their salaries. He said such a meager increase cannot cushion the impact of the steep rise in the cost of living and the rise in food prices.
We also have other outstanding matters that pertains to the finances of our teachers. Outstanding in terms of the bunching, which should have been implemented since 2019. Outstanding 2% in the 2017 calculation. Increments based on the adjustments of salaries and the timely payment of weekly council. We have highlighted that several regions did not honor the agreed position of paying weekly council in June of the year in question.
Light also complained that the non-appointment of the Teaching Service Commission is stalling the promotion of senior teachers and has resulted in the Education Ministry absorbing the functions of the Commission by appointing junior teachers.
We have seen no promotion for teachers, and many of those persons who are eligible for a promotion have had to retire without being awarded that last promotion that would have an impact on their gratuity and their pension for a year. The absence of a commission indicates that teachers would have the processing of their documents stymied.
The life of the last commission expired in February of 2020. And according to the GTU president, the union has submitted its nominee to sit on the commission. He said though being a nation builders, teachers in Guyana are being treated poorly by the current government. The head of the Guyana Teachers Union said it is disrespectful that the president and his government have not seen it fitting to engage the union about the welfare of the country's teachers. He has called once again on the government to meet with the union and to finalize the multi-year agreement.
It's your time to win big. Spend $2,000 or more at any Massey stores to enter our Christmas jackpot promotion. You can be the lucky winner of a brand new Nissan X-Trail. You can also win a sofa set, Samsung gas stove, motorcycle, $300,000 in cash, or a fabulous weekend trip for two. Shop now until January 31st for a chance to hit Massey's Christmas jackpot. Check out our Facebook, Instagram, or website for more details. GBTI Quick Cash Christmas is back, just the way you like it. Get up to $500,000 easy for anything you want this Christmas. We ain't waiting on Santa. We buy and we own this Christmas. Apply at your nearest branch or online at www.gbtibank.com from October 15th to December 31st. GBTI, we see Christmas through your eyes. Terms and conditions apply.
A very Merry Guyanese Christmas.
It's November already and soon it will be Christmas, so we at John Lewis Styles are giving away one Amazon Echo show every week in November and every day in December. Stream music and videos, make video calls and control smart devices, alarms, reminders and lots more. Every $5,000 spent gives you a chance to win when you shop for clothing, footwear, watches, fragrances, handbags, luggage and accessories. So visit us on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Did you know that the government has funded the 2022 budget through oil revenues? Yes, money earned from oil production offshore is being used to support projects in Guyana, including social programs like the increase of public assistance and old age pension, as well as cash grants to support the vulnerable members of society.
With a number of branded hotels expected to be built in Guyana in the next few years, the government appears to be setting the stage to make an exit from the hotel business. The government, through its holding company NISIL, has advertised the sale of the Marriott Georgetown Hotel. In a pre-qualification notice published in local newspapers, NISIL said it is seeking expressions of interest from persons and/or companies interested in purchasing its shares in Atlantic Hotel Inc. for the acquisition of the Guyana Marriott Hotel. The move by the government comes 7 years after former Auditor General Anand Gulsaran urged the then APNU-AFC administration to sell the hotel, which was built under the previous PP civic government with the use of taxpayers' money. In his October 2015 report on the forensic audit and review of the construction and operations of the Guyana Marriott, Mr. Gulsaran flagged key aspects of the project, which was initiated under the Barra Jagdeo administration in 2009. The former Auditor General said the Barra Jagdeo administration decided to proceed with the construction of the hotel without the involvement of the National Assembly, a move which he described as unfortunate given the significant amount of state resources used to develop the five-star facility. He said evidence suggested that Cabinet took the decision to proceed with the project in the absence of a feasibility study to determine the project's economic and long-term viability. Initially, the cost to construct the hotel was estimated to be $33.2 million, excluding the outfitting costs of $10.4 million. Those figures ballooned into more than $95 million by the time the project was completed. Applicants hoping to be pre-qualified for the purchase of the hotel must provide audited financial statements for the past 3 years and must also have a minimum net worth of approximately $250 million, as well as a letter of financial capability from a recognized financial institution. The deadline for submission of interest is the 10th of January next year. The government, in partnership with the United Arab Emirates, today launched the 150,000 Coders Initiative, a technological program that would not only benefit Guyanese, but children and young adults in the Caribbean community. The Coders Initiative, which birthed following the signing of an MOU between Guyana and the UAE last March, will see Guyana's children being given the opportunity to acquire the skill sets needed to develop programs such as websites and apps. In his address during the launch of the initiative at the Otachang Conference Center, President Irfan Ali said the initiative forms part of a move to transform Guyana into a world leader in key areas such as technology.
The world as we know it today will be completely different in 2030 and beyond. The economies as they are structured today will be completely different in the world 2030 and beyond. Your own future, the roles you will play, the job types, the knowledge set, the competency level will be completely different from it is today. And we have a duty and responsibility to position you, to get you ready for that world 2030 and beyond. And we have to do it now. That is why we made it an emphasis that we want the young people and the children to be here today. Because this step is about you. This step is about you taking our country forward 2030 and beyond, ensuring that we are competitive, we're resilient, we are functional, ensuring that we as a country have the tools that would take us forward, that would ensure our economy is among the strongest.
Last year, approximately 26.9 million people in the world were software developers. The number is expected to jump to 45 million by the year 2030. And Guyanese, the president said, must position themselves to be part of the growing industry. He said through the Coders Initiative, Guyanese will be exposed to even more career opportunities in the digital ecosystem.
This coding will allow our children to acquire skills that they can use in future careers. Movie animators web developers, software engineers, IT technicians, systems administrator, product manager, cybersecurity analysts. All these now are new fields and new areas that the introduction of this coding program would allow you to graduate to and be able to function. Or functionality in this area will become easier.
Noting that the initiative will benefit children in both the public and private education sectors, President Ali urged corporate Guyana to support the initiative by making their office spaces available for use by the children. Director General of the Office of the Prime Minister of the United Arab Emirates, Abdullah Luta, said the innovative initiative represents a new milestone of partnership between Guyana and the United Arab Emirates and embodies the country's collective vision to share their experiences for impactful outcome. He explained that the Coders Initiative forms part of the UAE's government's Experience Exchange Program, which currently has a network of 19 participating nations.
Of note, the Guyana Coders Initiatives aims to establish digital awareness with new competencies as part of developing an agile workforce for tomorrow, which is well versed in the critical language of the future. This is a language of a new era, one based on technology and digitization.
It was also explained that after a period of 3 years, the coders will be awarded a certificate, having acquired digital skill sets in areas of programming, data science, and Android app development.
Today, we are gathered to celebrate another step forward building this future, a digital future. We are currently experiencing an era of rapid digital transformation, where technology is becoming embedded in every part of society, in every segment of the economy.
And the Guyana government is also moving to put the legislative framework in place to have data banks and data centers established in Guyana with the help of the United Arab Emirates. It is also looking to the UAE for the creation of e-visa portals and e-gates at the international airports and the creation of a new ID card with specific electronic features. Already a telemedicine project is being rolled out in the hinterland regions and ICT hubs are being established. U.S. Ambassador to Guyana, Sarah Ann Lynch, has hailed the Guyana government for its recent salary increase of 8% for public sector workers and the most recent adjustments in salaries for workers in the healthcare and discipline services sector, calling it a step in the right direction to retain key talents to aid in the country's growth. Speaking during an event yesterday at the Office of the President, the U.S. Ambassador said both the salary increases for public servants and the adjustments of salaries are welcomed. The remarks by the U.S. Ambassador come even as unions representing the public sector workers continue to chide the government for not consulting them before the announcement of the 8% salary increase.
I have to congratulate the government of Guyana also on increasing wages for the health sector workers and public servants recently. We know that very well that Guyanese are smart, capable professionals who need to be paid fairly for their work, and steps like the one you took yesterday, earlier this week, are key to recognizing and retaining key talent, critical talent in Guyana to aid with this rapid economic transformation.
The U.S. Ambassador said the U.S. stands ready to support Guyana to ensure the prosperity of its citizens and deepening relations. The President has announced major salary adjustments for several categories of healthcare workers that will see increases to their salaries ranging from 13% to 74%. The increases, which were announced on Monday night in a national broadcast, will take effect from the 1st of January and will be in addition to the recently announced 8% salary increases for public servants.
Census takers are visiting communities across Guyana and collecting information from every household. This information will help the government to plan better for our country's development. All the information shared will be treated as strictly confidential, and everyone is asked to participate. No one should be alarmed about any question asked, because the answers provided will help to improve living standards, decrease community crime rates, and improve access to housing and healthcare, among other benefits.
The census gives us the tool to identify some of these important gaps that exist across communities, within communities, and across regions. so that we can have targeted intervention.
Yeah, we counting we from region 1 to region 10, the whole country. Yeah, we counting we.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor of the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true, or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Buster, win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, and many more top gaming prizes. Check below for details.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95, tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95, tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, Barbados' High Court has ruled that the criminalization of gay sex is unconstitutional, making the country the third in the Caribbean to overthrow such laws this year. The decision follows similar 2022 rulings in Antigua and Barbuda and St. Kitts and Nevis, and was announced by Barbados' Attorney General Dale Marshall. It was welcomed by activists and non-profit organizations that have campaigned against laws banning gay and lesbian sex. The maximum sentence really imposed has been life imprisonment. In a statement, Marshall said Justice Michelle Weeks had issued a ruling on Monday concluding that Sections 9 and 12 of the Sexual Offences Act were unconstitutional. Written reasons for the decision in the case, which was brought by rights advocates, were not expected for a few weeks, the Attorney General said. Activists say only 6 countries in the Americas now have similarly restrictive laws, including Guyana, Dominica, and Jamaica. They believe it is a step in the right direction for Barbados to get rid of the laws banning same-sex intimacy. Peru's government has declared a nationwide state of emergency amid a political crisis triggered by the attempted dissolution of Congress by President Pedro Castillo and his subsequent impeachment. Soldiers are being deployed to help the police rein in violent protests by supporters of the ousted president. Several protesters have died in clashes with the police, and a number of airports and roads were temporarily blocked. The 53-year-old Pedro Castillo had a rocky presidency from the start, reports the BBC. A left-wing former school teacher, he was elected by a narrow margin in June of last year, beating his right-wing rival Keiko Fujimori. And finally tonight, international news. China is facing problems with stockpiling after it relaxed its most severe COVID-19 policies last week. People have been rushing to buy ibuprofen, cold medicines, and COVID testing kits amid reports of shortages. Products for home remedies are now largely unavailable online, including lemons and canned peaches rich in vitamin C and electrolyzed water. Hoarding has been a common global issue, but this may be the first instance of it after lockdowns were eased. In China, as elsewhere in the world, it has been common to see people sharing pictures online of bare grocery aisles in major cities ahead of strict stay-at-home orders being imposed. But now the country has eased track and trace rules and has allowed people to self-isolate at home and self-test for the virus. And there appears now to be panic buying of medicines in anticipation of a winter wave of COVID-19 in China. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.